and welcome to another movie reviews video. I make movie reviews here every Sunday, except I'm taking a break for the next 2 weeks after this video because I will be away at BookCon and Book Expo. So that's all about the reading and not about the watching movies, unfortunately. My movie reviews are always spoiler free and I leave timestamps in the description box below in case there is a particular movie you want to hear my thoughts on. You can scroll along to that time and just hear what I have to say about that movie. I will also leave last week's movie reviews video linked up here in case there is something that I might have seen last week that you are considering seeing this week at the movies. In case you're wondering, I do have a slight black eye incident with Head and Playground, but yes, I just thought I would draw attention to that in case you noticed it and thought I'd put makeup on this eye and not on this one. Anyway, so I saw 3 movies in cinemas this week. The first of those I saw on Wednesday, and it was actually a movie that I walked out of. I have AMC A-List, which gives you 3 movies every week. And I was really worried that I'd used my 3 on 3 Duff movies, because the first one was The Sun Is Also a Star, which I saw last week. And the second one was this movie. And when it came to seeing the third one, which I'll tell you about in a minute, I was so worried that I'd just chosen like 3 Duff movies and wasted all 3 of my credits this week. Anyway, I saw Poms, which is a film about Diane Keaton setting up a cheerleading group at her retirement community, where she basically moves to from her apartment in New York, her retirement community in Georgia. She basically moves there to die and is told that she has to join a club. If she doesn't find a club that she likes that they have, that she can start her own. So she joins with her next door neighbour and starts a cheerleading group. Now, I kind of agree that this does sound like a bit of an odd premise for a movie and does sound like maybe something I shouldn't have gone to see, but it looked like a light-hearted comedy. And on Wednesday, I did this. I needed a light-hearted comedy. And I did tolerate more than my usual amount. Usually I will give a film 45 minutes. However, I decided to sit a bit longer, and it was only when I got up to use the bathroom that I just took everything with me and left. I did the whole, I could go home and actually have time to eat lunch rather than staying to watch this movie and having to eat lunch on the go. So yeah, it just felt like, you know, when you eat the low fat or low sugar version of something, that you should just be eating the full fat version of it, and you kind of bite into it and it just disappears like that. It felt like it could have had more oomph and it could have had more substance and it could have had more plot, but you bit into it and it was just air, and I didn't want to waste my time. Do not recommend that movie. It's gone quite quickly out of the movie theatres here, so I'm thinking that other people have felt the same way, although it was really quite busy when I saw it. Then the second movie I saw this week, which was the last of my 3, because the credits run Friday to Friday, so your credits reset on a Friday, and I was like, please be okay, please be okay. I went to see Aladdin. It is my favourite animated Disney film. It's been one of my top all-time favourite films since I saw it back in, was it 92 that it came out? And the reason I don't like Lion King is because it took the publicity away from Aladdin, because it was a new Disney film, and so the merch in the Disney store was all Lion King then. That's how much I love Aladdin. So I tried really hard. I was discussing it with a friend, and I tried really hard to go in with an open mind. We were both trying to be very open-minded about it and have no expectations, but after the kind of disaster that was Dumbo, we were a little bit worried. Now, obviously, I've seen trailers for it, and it looked pretty good in the trailers. Will Smith, I approve of him. But yeah, I was a little bit skeptical. But from the moment it started, I was like, yes, this is a Disney film. It's got that Disney feeling, but because it's a live action Disney film, it's got that kind of stage musical aspect mixed into it. And I love going to see a musical in the West End or on Broadway if I could afford it on Broadway, which I can't. I love, love, love a stage musical, and I love that Disney magical feeling, and these two were combined. So if you think about, you know, that feeling when you watch Aladdin, the actual cartoon animated Disney film, and then mix in that sprinkling of like Greatest Showman, that's what this felt like. I saw it the first showing at my movie theatre, so it was a massive audience. The whole audience was laughing a lot. Will Smith as the genie is really, really funny. He's not trying to emulate Robin Williams. Obviously, the script is basically the same, so he says a lot of the lines that the genie says in the animated film. However, he does his own take on it. He plays the genie quite camp, I would say. And I quite like that, because the genie is also straight but camp, and I thought that was a really cool combo. The guy playing Aladdin, awesome dancer. I think it's him singing, great singer. The girl playing Jasmine, I didn't buy quite as much as I bought into Aladdin, but she was fine. I enjoyed her being on the screen. There's a lot of talk about the fact that Jafar isn't old enough, but I do think he works. He's got that pantomime villain thing going on. Even though he is a younger guy, he's still got that pantomime villain, and the scenes with him and the scenes in the Cave of Wonders are quite scary. So just if you're taking younger kids to go and see this one, just be aware that when they go into the Cave of Wonders and when Jafar has his kind of moments, those bits are a little bit scary, but generally it's a very family friendly film. My cinema consisted mostly of adults, and they were laughing, and then at the end everybody applauded. So I just really loved it. I did have the opportunity to go and see it again today, and I did think about it, but then I thought, no, you know, I'll save it rather than seeing it 2 consecutive days like I did with Avengers. I would save it. It'll still be playing when I get back from my trip. I might go and see it again then, because yeah, I really enjoyed it, and it was a really nice way to end my Thursday evening. It was nice, and I really do recommend it. And if you are skeptical, then I hope that I've kind of soothed your skepticism to some extent. I think they did a good job with it, and I did enjoy it. And then the third film I saw this week was one of my kind of most anticipated films, and not just because it has book in the title. I know what you're thinking. I went to see Booksmart. I went to see it tonight. I'm just back from seeing it. I did treat myself to a Diet Coke because, you know, Friday night, woohoo. Yeah, it was just really good. It's got that kind of like classical teen comedy, quirky, out there feeling, like kind of your Superbad, your American Pie type thing, but it's 2 girls, and one of them isn't straight, and it's just like, yes, we needed this. I needed this right now, this Friday. I needed this, and it's perfect because it's their last day of school and they are graduating, and I saw it on what is the last day of school here. The kids that I look after, it's their last day of school, and so that was really cool. I like that link up. It takes place over basically one day. We get to see a little glimpse of the next day, because it wouldn't be that kind of a film if we didn't get to see the repercussions the next day. It has some romance in it. It has some important aspects of friendship in it. It has some important aspects, it explores fully some important aspects of being a teenager and comparing yourself to others. As much as you want to think you are your own person and you are out there, you don't conform to the norm, you will still be comparing yourself to others in some way subconsciously, no matter how hard you try not to. And this film really kind of like examines that and knocks that on the head. It has some great social references in there, and again, a lot of people in my movie theatre were laughing out loud. There was quite a lot of people in the movie theatre, like me, was a single watcher, which was quite nice because quite often I can be the only one there that's on my own. But yeah, Friday night, apparently, we are out seeing the movies. But yeah, I just really recommend this one. I don't want to give any spoilers, so I don't want to go into too much detail, but those things that I've talked about were kind of the highlights for me. There's some good music in it, there's some good people in it. It's got an awesome female director, obviously. Quite a lot of former Saturday Night Live people are in this one as well, like just kind of cropping up and pulling in here and there. And I've kind of left it wanting to know what happens next. And this is another one, a bit like last night's one, where I'm like, yes, I could go and see this again. I did originally have tickets for the 7:30 showing, but I was able to see the 5 o'clock showing. Considered not cancelling my 7:30 ticket, but then I wouldn't be able to be here making this video for you at 9 o'clock on a Friday night. So yeah, okay, that's the end of my movie reviews. I feel like it's been a bit more of a chatty one this week, so if you've made it this far, well done you. Leave me a comment below, definitely, if you've made it to the end of the video, because I have rambled a little bit today, whereas I feel like normally I'm a little bit more concise. As always, also leave me a comment if there is a particular film you would like me to go and watch and share my review of with you here. Always happy to go and view films on demand. Next movie reviews video will be in 2 weeks time. No, 3 weeks time, because as I say, I am away on a trip for 2 weeks, 5 days of which will be at Book Expo and BookCon. So if you're watching this and you're coming to Book Expo or BookCon, definitely send me a message. Social media links are always linked below. Would love to see you. I will be traveling and so not watching movies, and then I will hopefully be discovering some new books. So we'll be reading rather than movie watching. Although, as you know, I do try and balance both in my life. So I will be back with another bookish video for you on Tuesday and another movie reviews video for you in a couple of Sundays time. If I manage to see any whilst I'm away, I will let you know on those social medias. Make sure you're subscribed so that my next bookish video lands in your subscription feed, as well as my next movie reviews video in a couple of weeks time. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and thank you so much for watching. Bye.